The name Berlin appears for the first time in recorded history in 1244 because of the settlements of Spandau and Kopernik, now metropolitan districts, preceded the establishment of Berlin-Köln. By 1250, Berlin-Köln dominated the market of Brandenburg east to the Oder River, and in the 14th century it became the center of the city League of the Mark of Brandenburg and joined the northern German towns. On that date, Berlin became the capital of the First German Republic. In 1933, the Nazis began to persecute communists, social democrats, and labor unionists and to deprive the German Jews of their rights as citizens. The Jewish population of Berlin decreased to 1.8% in 1939. Allied aerial bombing during World War II cost Berlin an estimated 52,000 people. Another 100,000 civilians died in the Battle of Berlin launched by the Soviet Army. Most of Berlin's residential districts, military facilities, and cultural buildings were destroyed. For language, German is the official predominant spoken language in Berlin. More than 95% of the population speaks German as their first language. Besides, the most commonly spoken foreign languages in Berlin are Turkish, English, Russian, Arabic, Polish, Kurdish, Serbo-Croatian, Italian, Vietnamese, and French. And for culture, Berlin's biggest appeal is its vast array of cultural attractions. The city is home to famous museums, universities, orchestras, entertainment venues, and sporting centers. It is also an important center in the German and European film industry. The nightlife in Berlin is one of the most vibrant and diverse in Europe. As for festivals and carnivals, the annual Carnaval des Cultures brings together all the people from various cultural backgrounds. For the population background, Berlin is the largest city in Germany. It is also the second most populous city proper and the seventh most populous urban region in the European Union. In 1825, the population of Berlin is around 219,000, and in 2016, the population of Berlin is estimated at 3.5 million. There are many foreign-born population in Berlin today, with countries of birth that include Turkey, Poland, Italy, Serbia, and Russia. The German economy is the largest economy in Europe thanks to the high degrees of financial freedom, business freedom, and investment freedom. This country possesses $44,000 nominal GDP per capita, which is the fifth in the world. Germany is also famous for engineering, especially in vehicles, machinery, chemical products, and electronic products. And Berlin, the capital of this wealthy country, is the largest and most advanced industrial city in Europe. In 1990s, it was once the most famous financial center and bank city in the world. Before that, Berlin was divided into two parts after World War II. The western part is taken control by America, Britain, and France, and it undergoes capitalism economy, when the eastern part belongs to the Soviet sector that runs socialism economy.
Berlin Palace is towered in the center of Berlin on Museum Island. It was a royal and imperial winter residence of electors of Brandenburg, the kings of Prussia, and German emperors. The oldest part of the palace was built in 1443. The palace undergoes expansion from the very beginning to now. In 1465, a high Gothic Erasmus chapel was built in east of the castle. Different decorations, rooms, and statues were added to the royal palace later in different dynasties. It had been reconstructed a few times thanks to the damage by Berlin citizens, East German communists, and bombs in World War II. It once became a Baroque-style architecture in 18th century because of reconstruction. It was a disputed, if not controversial, issue to repair the palace or not after the reunion of Germany. The latest estimated time of re-enabling is September 2019. 3 sides of wall of the new palace will be in Baroque style, while the remaining wall will remain simple, with no decorations at all. Berlin Cathedral is a Christian church on Museum Island. There was once a Baroque-style royal chapel on the same location under the Prussian age, built in 1465. In 1822, this Baroque architecture was transformed into classical church thanks to the order of Karl Friedrich. The Berlin Cathedral we can see now was built in 1905, ordered by Wilhelm II, the German emperor at that time. The old building was destroyed, and there was a new Renaissance church rebuilt. The new architecture is a Christian church towered in Berlin that Protestant counterweight the Catholic St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican. It is much larger and spacious than the previous 2 chapels. Marble columns and gilded ornaments can be seen in the new church. The main altar is made by white marble and yellow onyx. The organ that constructed in 1905 with 7,000 pipes still work fine nowadays since it was fully restored in the reconstruction process. After World War II, the church although was repaired. Most of the decorations and designs is far more simple than original. The second floor of the Berlin Cathedral now is served as a museum.
This is the Noise Museum. The Noise Museum is located in Berlin's Museum Island. The Noise Museum was originally designed by Friedrich August Euler and built between 1841 and 1855. Established in 1955, the museum was closed at the beginning of World War II in 1939 and was heavily damaged during the bombing of Berlin. The museum officially reopened in October 2009 and received the RIBA European Award in 2010 and the 2011 European Union Prize for Contemporary Architecture. The Noise Museum testifies to the new classical architecture of museums in the 19th century. The design focused on repairing and restoring the original volume, respecting the historical structure of the old Noise Museum. Both the restoration and repair of the existing is driven by the idea that the original structure of the Noise Museum should be emphasized in its spatial context and original materiality, and that means the new reflects the lost without imitating it.
People might say currywurst should be on the Berlin flag because it is one of the best food you can find in Berlin that is come from the street food vendors. There is even a museum in Berlin dedicated to the history of currywurst. That's how much of a big deal it is. Currywurst is steamed and fried pork sausages cut into small pieces. Then there is a sweet curry ketchup and a sprinkle of curry spice for that special flavor and appeal. We can thank Hedda Hoover, who used ingredients given to her by British soldiers, for this sweet 1949 Berlin creation. It gained so much popularity, and we can find currywurst everywhere in Berlin today. The Deutsches Currywurst Museum is a museum in Berlin dedicated to the German sausage currywurst. It is located at the historical checkpoint Charlie in Berlin. We can follow a sauce trial through the history of currywurst. The museum is highly interactive with exhibits and displays aimed at engaging the senses of sight, smell, and sound. Here is the spice room. You can discover and smell spices. Highlights include auto stations playing currywurst theme song and a virtual currywurst making game called Curry Up. The museum also has special installations at children's eye level. The key ingredients in currywurst are curry powder, ketchup, and sausage. Firstly, fry the sausage for around 3 to 4 minutes each side. Meanwhile, cut the onion in slices. After the sausages are cooked, put it aside and saute the onion in the oil until it is transparent. After that, boil the ketchup and the curry powder undercovered until the sauce is thick. Serve the currywurst sauce over sausage with an extra sparkling of curry powder as shown in this video.
Pretzel is a type of baked bread product made from dough, most commonly shaped into a twisted knot. It is originated in Europe among monks in the early Middle Ages, and it is treated as more healthy, fat-free snack food now, and even is one of the world's oldest snack food. In Berlin, we can easily find pretzel being sold at numerous street food vendors, bakeries, and cafes lining the street as served well as a breakfast or light lunch. Every pretzel has its unique shapes and a hard, shiny outer surface. It also has a moisture content and give it a long shelf life. We can have pretzel plain or eat with chocolate, cheese, or seed topping. Salt is the most common seasoning for pretzels. Typical pretzel have a pleasant cracker-like flavor and a brown color. Traditional pretzel shape is the distinctive non-symmetrical form, with the end of a long strip of dough intertwined and then twisted back into itself in a certain way. Pretzel have a Christian background and were invented by monks in southern France or northern Italy. There are several stories to the invention of pretzel. The most common one is Italian monk invents pretzel as a reward to children who learn their prayers. In fact, pretzel was in use as an emblem of bakers in southern German areas since at least the 12th century. Within the Christian church, pretzel were regarded as having religious significance for both ingredients and shape. The knot shape has been claimed to represent child's arm folded in prayer. The three holes within the pretzel represent three persons of the Holy Trinity. Pretzel became associated with both Lent and Easter. People will hang loops in pretzel on sticks. The primary ingredients in pretzel dough include flour, water, yeast, shortening, and sugar. Each of the ingredients have an important effect on the dough during manufacture and the properties of the final product. The first step of making a pretzel is to mix the dough. Yeast, flour, and water are blended with high-speed horizontal mixer. When they are adequately blended, the rest of the ingredients such as sugar, vegetable shortening, salt, and flavorings are added. Dough is then allowed to ferment and rise for about 13 minutes. Secondly, we need to form a pretzel. The end of the fermented dough intertwined and then twisted back into itself. At last, the pretzel are put into a 350 Fahrenheit oven for 4 to 5 minutes. The high heat gives the pretzel a dark brown color. Different seasons in Berlin have a different eating style. At Christmas, pretzel are made of soft gingerbread with chocolate coating. On January 1, people give each other New Year presents for good luck and good fortune. Sometimes children will visit their godparents to fetch their New Year present.